I was gonna joke and be like, did you miss me? Since it's the daily vlog part of the daily uploads, and so you have not had the chance. Today's daily vlog though, I wanted to dedicate towards talking about why I'm not setting goals in the new year. I've been avoiding comments about this because some people have asked like, what does 2026 hold? Like what goals are you setting? Totally well-intentioned, and I just like don't know how to summarize quite yet, just like one sentence worth of my thoughts. And so I wanted to sit down and check in, be on the same page as we are literally turning the page into the new year, because I've just had a lot of thoughts, and I hope that some of them maybe like resonate or are helpful, or it's just like interesting to hear, because I'm doing things differently this year and I'm really excited about it. I'm showing up with damp hair, a little cluttered background, and to be totally honest, this is the second time that I'm filming this clip, because the first time I filmed it, I just don't feel like I actually portrayed my thoughts in the ways that felt genuine. And spoiler alert, one huge part of 2026 is just going to be like authenticity and being genuine, and so I wanted to be able to feel proud of like the way that I'm speaking about this and just share my thoughts headed into the new year. So I discussed a little bit in, it would have been a couple videos ago for you, the one before I was traveling, that recently I got quite a few of my thoughts down on paper in my journal, because I was reflecting on, in 2021 I had written like journaling for my dream life and kind of discussed where I had expected to be in approximately 5 years, which it's been about 4.5 since I did that now. I really could have left my bookmark where the page is. Here it is. And this has been brewing in my mind for a while, but this year more than ever, I feel like this is a big transition year for me. 2025 was a big achievement year and a lot happened, a big milestone year, I guess you could say. I was busy and I was pushing and I was working hard and I was grinding, and even with all I'm about to say, I don't think that any of that motivation or like inspiration will change. I'm just hoping to kind of change my mindset about it to make it a better life. In my head, my early 20s were a lot of building the scaffolding of my life, as far as like getting a higher education and then getting a career and pursuing a career and like setting up stability there and achievement there and getting my professional license. These are all things that I had like really wanted to work on, and now I've got them all, and I don't have like upcoming goals like that. And then also I'm stable like where I'm living. I have a wonderful relationship and now we're married, and like that's stable. Financially, we've been making moves to become more stable and like adult, and I just feel like my early 20s was a lot of having to work to do the habits that I knew would be good, but like creating the structure of life that I wanted to live and that like felt great to me. And now I'm transitioning because I turned 26 at the beginning of 2026. Kind of fun about being a 2000s baby and being January 2000 specifically is that every year that it is also my age. And so moving into 2026ness, I feel like it's time to stop building the scaffolding and just start like filling the life that I've built. I've done the big ticket items as far as like career, for example. And so now what can I do just to like live each day and be good each day and like be a great version of myself each day? But there's not going to be goals that I'm going to be setting to be achieving this year. Not setting any kind of New Year's goal is new for me, and it feels a little bit uncomfortable because they excite me. Like I don't have anything against goals, and I am loving seeing other people's goals for the new year and seeing people achieve what they want to achieve. There's different seasons of life for everybody, and I feel like this upcoming year for me, I am really going to try to be slow and not be chasing anything and be in the present moment. I wouldn't say I'm super type A, but I would say that I have spent the past years of my life climbing a ladder, metaphorically, and so often I'm planning for what I'm doing that's upcoming and like how I can set myself up best for when I get there, and so many to-do lists and resolutions and checking in on my goals and Google Calendar, and all of those things have been so important because that is like how I have got the things that I've got, is like through that work and that organization and everything. But I really need to try to have a year, I think, where I'm not doing all of that. My year of rest and relaxation, except not like that book. And I think that that's going to not come naturally to me and feel a bit uncomfortable, but in my ideal sense of 2026, I'm going to try to really lean into that and just like slow down and just fill my life up and enjoy each like moment and phase that I'm in instead of planning for the next one. I'm going to try to just have less pressure, no goals, still a sense of direction, and still like maintaining healthy habits and pointing myself to like make the choices that the person who I want to be would be making, but not checking in each month and considering like pass fail, you're doing this thing, you're not doing this thing. I want to define success differently this year, and we'll just kind of see how that goes. So that being said, it's not that I don't have any like bullet point ideas for 2026 that I'd like to prioritize, but I'm trying to stray away from making 2026 pass fail for me. A mental exercise that I did, and I haven't fully fleshed it out, I haven't gone into all of the details, but I've just been thinking throughout my days as I've been preparing for the new year of what I would like to look like in 5 5 years. So much of it I don't know. I don't know the details. I don't know the big changes that will happen, and I feel okay with that. I don't want to be predicting the future, which I do think from age 20 to 25 I have been trying to predict the future because I've had like big things to do, and I don't want to be predicting the future anymore. But something that keeps coming up as this like cognitive dissonance for me whenever I think of myself in 5 years mostly has to do with like phone use and social media use. Do you have upstairs neighbors like that? When I picture myself in my sort of ideal version, or like who I'd like to be, or even just like 5 years from now, I don't see myself using my phone as much as I do now. I don't see myself on social media in the same way that I am now. That doesn't feel true to me or true to the life that I would like to live. And I don't think it makes sense to wait and be like, well, I'll just doom scroll for the next 3 years and then I'll try to make a change. Like if it is a source of unhappiness now, then I'd like to change it. So I am going to be doing less on social media this year. I don't plan on it affecting the YouTube channel at all. Categorizing things into what brings me joy, what feels great, what I feel proud of, what I like talking about. This YouTube channel is that. And doing long form content like this to me feels valuable, and it feels enriching, and it feels authentic, and I feel like I get to be myself in a really cool way. So I don't plan on that changing at all. I love YouTube, and I love watching people who it just is like I'm living life alongside. And so if anything, I hope to just like lean more into that and make YouTube better. Going along with my 2026 mindset, I do hope to focus less on the metrics. Obviously numbers, it's impossible to entirely avoid, and it does get me down sometimes just thinking of where it would be cool to be, but that always is followed so quickly by like just being so grateful for anyone who watches these videos that I put out, because truth of the matter is I really enjoy the process of like filming and editing. Like that part is fun for me too. It's not just the like posting content for content's sake. I really just enjoy the video process. So where social media is changing, and I have done some of this already, I'm not using TikTok anymore. I'm planning on cutting TikTok as a creator. If you go to my profile right now, I've honestly cleaned up some of the videos that I've posted just because this has been sort of a thing on and off all year about creating content on TikTok, where it just doesn't feel like who I want to be. I don't feel proud of TikToks I make. Lots of times I just feel kind of cringe about them, and then I like don't really want to post them, but I do anyways. I always feel like I'm like not good enough or not doing enough, and that partly is because I'm not doing enough on TikTok in order to like really make it, and it's not a like passion joyful thing for me like this form of editing and everything is. Some things that are cool about posting on TikTok would be like getting free things, getting invited to events, like that kind of thing is really attractive, I feel like, of being like a content creator, but I'm not doing that. Like I'm not getting that, and I don't want to put in the work to get that and to be that. And when I picture myself in the future, I don't picture myself filming TikToks. I don't picture myself like filming marketable content or like selling things, and I feel like TikTok is just not like a healthy environment, and I don't want to partake in it, honestly. It's just how I feel. So I still have my profile like live and up there, but the bio does say I've stepped away from TikTok, catch my weekly videos on YouTube, and I don't plan on posting on there, and I plan on just freeing myself from that. I've already cleaned up a little bit who I'm following. What I am going to do in the upcoming days is really clean up who I'm following and pick like the people who I only want to see the most from, which usually is things that are like recipes, workouts, like things that are actually helpful and less just like consume-y. And I plan on making a burner account following those accounts so I can have it, and maybe I'll do a little FYP scroll every now and again, but I plan on just like logging out of my creator account, and I feel really good about that. Like I feel really excited for that. As far as Instagram goes, I've archived quite a few of the reels that I've posted on Instagram, and I do plan on still using Instagram. Instagram brings me joy, honestly. I do need to go through and like clean up who I'm following just because I want it to feel like actual connection and not just like I'm being sold to, which is hard with how the apps have changed in the past few years. But I plan on just using Instagram like I did before I was any kind of content creator, posting pictures that make me happy, that are with friends, that are of trips, that are of pretty things that I like. And I've always had a good time on Instagram stories, so I'd still love to connect with you over on Instagram. I just don't plan on being very content creator-y about it. I plan on just being a real person, because I hope from my YouTube channel that that's what I feel like. I feel like I live a nice realistic life, and I feel like I've been acting on social media as if I'm striving for this like influencer-y type life that I don't actually want, and so then why would I be doing it if it just feels inauthentic to me? So those are some like practical changes that I'm prioritizing in 2026, but then again, I'm not gonna be pass-faily about it. When I think about using my phone less, I think less about like setting restrictions on myself to do so, and I really want to just try to make it be not as attractive to pick up. So I've already deleted like quite a few apps that I don't need off of my phone. Like I said, I'm planning on cleaning up like the Instagram feeds and then doing that with TikTok so that like it's just not as much for me to have at my fingertips to always be picking up, and we'll just see how it goes, because because I think that the less I do on this dang phone, the more hours there are in the week, and I want those back. So that's what I'll be trying. The one change that I do plan on upcoming in YouTube whenever we start the new year after these daily uploads is that for a while at least, I'm planning on going back to guaranteed 1 time per week posting instead of guaranteed 2 times per week. I may still get a second upload up in a week, but I just want to be able to take a little bit of reset time and make sure that I can like pour great quality editing time and production time over maybe longer videos and just give myself some hours like that back, because working full time and doing 2 times per week uploads, I can manage for a little bit, but I think I just need like a quick break from it, and maybe I'll still do 2 times per week if I can, but just guaranteeing 1 time per week so that they can be like really good quality, enriching, long videos. The part that has been a bit hard to me that goes along with the not setting goals in 2026 is that a lot of 2026, I don't know what it's gonna look like. And I'm really trying to force myself just to lean into that and be okay with that, because I don't need to know and predict the future of every single month and what every single month is going to hold in 2026. But it is weird, and it is a transition coming off of 2025 where so much of the year was kind of planned out for me before it even started, of like wedding, honeymoon, the trips we had planned them pretty far in advance, so I knew they were coming. Like so many things had been planned, so I had the structure of 2025, and I knew like what months I was going to be prioritizing getting my license. Even if I didn't know exactly when I'd be getting it, I knew like the time frame, and I knew I was going to camp and like various things like that. And there's really not that much for 2026 like that. Now I'm sure 2026 is going to be a great year. I plan to make it be a great year, but right now I know of 2 weddings that we have. I know of 2 like family-ish trips that we'll be taking, but I hope to travel more. We just don't know yet where that'll be to. If you have any like lovely destinations that you're like, you have to go here, let me know. I feel kind of like the chains of choice right now where it's like, wow, if we don't have like any plans, like we could make a plan anywhere, and it's a little overwhelming, but what a lovely problem to have. And I just wanted to have this mental check-in before we got fully into the daily vlog. This is like the longest introductory segment to a video ever, and probably be the majority of this video, but I wanted to formulate all of my thoughts so that we could be on the same page heading forward, and you know like where my heart is right now and what my mindset headed into the new year is. Because 2025 has been a great year, and I plan to be just as driven as I have been before, because I know that you guys are way too sweet and like talk about how my videos can motivate you and things, and I think that that'll still be the case. I just don't plan on pass failing myself through my life. You know what I mean? Like I am still me. I am still going to be doing the things that I enjoy doing. I'm still going to be doing the habits that are the habits that my best self do, and like I'm going to be hopefully continually just getting better and better, but I just don't want to put metrics on it in the same way and just kind of free myself from that for this year. And if we get partway into the year and it's not working, then okay, sounds good. Like I'll pull my rubric of life back out and start grading myself on it again. But for 2026, I don't know what it holds. I don't know what I'm going to be doing, and I'm not setting any goal. Now that I've gotten that off my chest, we can get on with the rest of the daily vlog. I've been rotting, and I've already had to kind of correct my brain because I feel like part of me would like to be accomplishing so much today, and I am forgetting the fact that yesterday was literally the day we got home. Like it was the 3:30 wake up, whole travel day. Like I unpacked, I started laundry all yesterday, and I can wait for a reset until tomorrow. If you need to hear it, it is so okay to be slow around the new year, even though it feels a little weird, because I have all the days, like I don't actually need to do anything. If I am up and being productive, it would just be me making up things for myself to do, when there's not really any difference right now if my laundry is done today or tomorrow. So I can do that tomorrow, and I actually will do that tomorrow. Like I'm practicing my new mindset, if you can't tell. I did finish editing yesterday's daily vlog, so that feels good to have done. And I also finished, it's no longer on the screen, I finished the Incandescent that I was telling you about yesterday, the Incandescent by Tesh, and I ended up giving it a 3.25 stars, which to me just means like it's a good book. It's like between good and above average. It's a standalone fantasy that follows a teacher at a boarding school, and it ended up going in a different direction than I was expecting. That was very interesting and does make me want to just like continue picking up fantasy, because I was so intrigued by all of that. There wasn't anything just like so outstanding about it to me. Like I didn't like connect with it on an emotional level, and I feel like usually I need a little bit of that to rate books like quite high, and it was pretty slow paced, but the slow pacing, it was also atmospheric and interesting, and you learned a lot. So it was just a different type of book than I usually read, but I think it was good. And then next, I haven't started it yet, but next I'm gonna start Conform by Ariel Sullivan, and I might start that pretty soon. I'm kind of juggling right now between I have so many YouTube videos that I would like to watch, and also I'm feeling the desire to read, and I kind of feel like I should then just read, because usually I'm not necessarily feeling like the push and pull between those two. Usually I just would like to be watching YouTube videos and kind of have to like push myself to read, and so the fact that I'm wanting to do both, I should capitalize on the want to read right now. Today's a super chill day, if you cannot tell. Apparently the mental health check-in truly is the majority of today's vlog because I started reading Conform by Ariel Sullivan and could not stop. I am over a quarter of the way into the book now, just from like the one sitting this evening, laying there and reading it. It is so good so far. I had thought it was fantasy. It's not fantasy, it's dystopian. And when's the last time I've read just like a great dystopian novel? Probably in the early 2010s with like The Hunger Games, Divergent, all of that. In this one, there's like 4 classes of people. The ones who are super high up in charge, the like next level upper class, and then the 2 like lower class, and then basically like the exiled lower class people. And our girl is in the 3rd of those, like lower class, but not like the exiled lowest of people. And she gets accepted to be a mate with like one of the upper people. And so we're just like following that. And it is just giving like bingeable dystopian in the same way that Divergent did back in the day, Hunger Games did back in the day, except it's not young adult. It is 100% setting me up for like a crazy love triangle. And I just imagine it's gonna be a push and pull between these 2 men. I already know whose side I'm on, no matter what happens. I'm loving one of the men. I'm really loving both of the men, but for some reason I'm just feeling a stronger affinity towards the one, and so I'm just gonna ride or die no matter where this book goes. Is it a series? Because that would actually be lovely. I think it's a new release, so maybe it hasn't even been announced if it's a series yet. Truly having the time of my life. Okay, yeah, it says Conform #1. So, oh, a prequel is coming out in March. Interesting. I'm loving it. Today was a rot day and it was great. Slow, lovely. Like I said, if you need someone to remind you that it's okay to take slow days around the new year and you don't have to like push, achieve all your goals, let me remind you of that. Also, because tomorrow is going to be a more productive vlog. So maybe more interesting too. Tomorrow, for like context of where we're at in the world, is the Sunday before I'm returning to work after my winter break. I haven't been to work in 8 days at this point, 9, maybe 10, depending on how you count, whenever I go back, which is wonderful. And also means that I am already feeling, and I know tomorrow I'm going to be feeling, a sense of Sunday scaries as well that I'm going to want to combat by getting my life together in a bigger way than I have today and yesterday. Yesterday was a recovery day. Today was a rot day. Tomorrow we're doing all the things, which probably is a great way to like end out the daily uploads as well. I brought my night guard out here because that is how close I am to getting in bed. And I'll see you again tomorrow for productive Sunday reset, preparing to return to work, fighting Sunday scaries, and hopefully reading a whole lot of my book. See you tomorrow.